Today's hearing by the House Judiciary Committee was historic. It is the first hearing for a proposed constitutional amendment, SB 1. And the reason that's important is because in a new Democratic majority, we passed significantly improved House rules that mandated that any constitutional amendment, any legislation that would seek an amendment to the Constitution had to have at least one public hearing. And so that's what happened today. After 12 years of Republican rule, Democrats are now leading by action, and we had that hearing, and it was on justice for survivors of sexual abuse as children. And it was a very powerful hearing to hear people speak who were survivors themselves.
Let's talk about protecting society. Let's talk about protecting today's kids.
Or advocates for survivors, some of whom were constitutional scholars and others. And one of the points that the detractors to this kind of legislation have made is that, oh, you're going to bankrupt all these institutions, and who's going to pick up the pieces? And I just find it hard to accept that that is one's priority, instead of protecting the people who had no protection and future generations, folks who've sat in silence because they felt they did not have any voice, that they had any power to help themselves, and who years later discovered that they were victims because as children they did not process it in ways that we do as adults. And so the testimonies were very riveting, the questions very substantive, but ultimately none of this would have happened if we remained in Republican control. For the past 12 years, the type of bills that would go through the Judiciary Committee, which, by the way, is the most active standing committee of all 23. We had nearly 500 bills referred to it last term. None of them addressed these victims or victims of gun violence and so forth. All of those things were muted, silenced, or marginalized because most of those bills, overwhelmingly, were Democratic bills. And the previous chair, who ran the committee, openly and brazenly said he would not run any such bills. Now is a new day, and I'm so glad that survivors had their moment, had an opportunity to speak on their own behalf and their advocates so that we can actually get justice statutorily.